Ayurveda in immunity today. As some of us may be aware that भारत वेद और शास्त्रों का देश है और आयुर्वेद कदाचित अथर्ववेद से निकला है. Now we do see a lot of products in the market being marketed as Ayurvedic immunity boosters, and today we will know what is the truth behind them and should we go for them or not. So let us speak from our expert, Dr. Surinder Katuch. Dr. Katuch, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rahul, and namaskar to all of you. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you all today. And I'm very happy that you all have at least some mental component that yes, let us see what Ayurveda says regarding immunity. So yes, I think you'll be hearing very different things today, which you must have not studied in your science, but it's very nice to cope up and have an integrated approach, because I always do that, and I'm with a lot of senior allopathic doctors with whom I work, and we thoroughly enjoy and have very good healthy discussions regarding both the sciences. So the topic for me today is role of Ayurveda in immunity. So basically when we say immunity, as Dr. Sandeep, he told me today, let us share the slides. I've not prepared any slides because it is a 30 to 40 minutes talk. So I always believe in interactive sessions and the mind to be absolutely focused to hear, which we usually used to do when it was a Guru Shishya Parampara. Only Shruti used to be there. Means the person speaks and the others hear and they take it into themselves, and that is how we increase our memory also. So I would just like all of you to just be focused and just hear. So then after that we proceed towards good question answer session. So as far as immunity is concerned in Ayurveda, we don't rely upon just some medicine or some particular thing for boosting our immunity. Then let us go with the word, the immunity and its alphabet. IMMUNITY. These are the words, the alphabet which make the word immunity. So let us see with each word what is for immunity. When we talk about immunity in Ayurveda, the I is we first go towards our inner self. And that usually we don't do. If we really are interested in our immunity, it has to be first from our inner self. We have to go to our inner self, talk to our immunity. And that is where the things will start. And M stands for mind, body, medicine, and beyond. So there is something beyond this which we need to work to boost up our immunity. It has to be mind, it has to be mind, body, it has to be something beyond that also. So there are the concepts of Ayurveda where we work. The third M stands for Manonigrah. That is developing control on our mind and the mental factors. So till now for I, M and then M, I have not talked about any medicine. Then comes U, the U of immunity. U is the urges concept of Ayurveda, where we have certain urges which when they come immediately we need to answer them, and then there are certain urges which we need to develop control, not necessarily answer them on the same spot. Then comes N. N is we need to become nature friendly. If we really want to improve our immunity, we have to be very close to nature. The more we go away from nature, disaster has to happen. It will happen. It will come in any form. It can come in any form. So therefore, we always talk about, and Ayurvedists will always talk about being close to nature. And that is N, means we need to be nature friendly. So immunity. Then comes I. So one is the external nature. We need to be friendly to that external nature, where whatever is outside us. I stands for internal nature. the nature of myself, of my own nature. And what is that? My prakriti, my individuality, my body constitution, my mental constitution. So I need to know about my own self, and that is the beauty of Ayurveda, where we say Ayurveda has an individualized approach, not a generalized approach. So that is individual's own nature. So this is becoming nature friendly and towards external nature. Then I becoming nature friendly towards your own self, your individuality, your individual composition of body and mind, which is the Prakriti analysis. And then comes tea. Now comes the philosophy of Ayurveda, where we say if we want to improve our immunity, we need to work upon three pillars of health, which is called the Traya Upastam. This stands for T. So T is we need to work upon all these three factors on a daily basis, everyday basis. Then only we can improve the immunity. Immunity will not be improved just by doing anything on a single day. That is why we don't rely upon a single medicine improving our immunity. How can that improve your immunity? Immunity has to be generated from within. So that is what is that we say the P stands for working upon all the three pillars of health, which we called as Traya Upastambha, the pillars. And then comes Y in immunity, and that Y is yoga and mental relaxation technique. Now, in this also, I didn't say yoga and meditation. I said yoga and mental relaxation technique because in today's time, everybody is under stress. Maybe children, the youth, and the elderly people. All are under stress. All have different chapters for stress, different stories for stress. But we need to handle it. We need to know how to do stress management. Therefore, I always say mental relaxation technique. We cannot relax mentally until unless we don't know what meditation is. So these all are clubbed up, and this is the way how we slowly proceed further for developing immunity according to Ayurveda. Now, immunity is bal, my power, my strength. So we have Trivid bal, three types of immunity, three strengths, three types of power. First is called Sahaj bal. Sahaj bal is I am born with that power. That is by birth. That is Sahaj bal. We know some children are born who are by birth weak. There are certain children who are by birth strong. And here comes the concept of Ayurveda that once as a human we are about to produce a child. Now that child will be healthy or not, that child will be having the immunity or not. It depends a lot upon the pregnant lady. And prior to that, it depends upon the quality of sperm and the quality of ovum, which are going to unite and produce a zygote. Ayurveda starts from there. The immunity starts from there. So we have to be very responsible when we are producing a child. So there, from there, the Ayurveda starts. Once that sperm and ovum are going to unite and produce a zygote. So before that, the lady and the man, they have to work upon themselves so that they have that power. Then only go ahead for the physical contact and produce a child. And then the power, the strength is during the pregnancy. There are so many things which are written in Ayurveda which we called as Garbhini Paricharya. And that we need to follow if we really, the lady who is pregnant wants to remain healthy and have good immunity to fight against everything. And the child who is going to be born, that child is also born with good immunity. That is the initially the Sahaj bal. Then comes the Kalaj bal. The Kalaj bal is the seasonal, the season effect of season on our immunity, the effect of season on our power. And immunity is what? It is a power, it is a strength. For what? The strength to fight against anything. Fight against what? Fight against anything which is disturbing my ease. Disease is what? When our ease is disturbed, that is disease. So the power within one's own self, the strength within one's own self, which is there to fight against anything which disturbs the person's ease, that disturbance can be at the physical level, at the mental level, at the social level, at the spiritual level. Because whenever in Ayurveda we talk about health, it is of four types: physical, mental, social, spiritual, and we have to work on all the four every day. So, therefore, this immunity is first is Sahaj, then is Kalaj. Kalaj is the effect of season. Now, according to Ayurveda, we have 6 seasons, and the Adan Kal and the Visarga Kal. So, 3 seasons, one starts from January. So, 2 months is equal to one season. So, January, February, February, March, March, January, February, February, March, March, April, April, May, June, June, July. So these are 3 seasons where we have the Basant Ritu, the Shishir Ritu, the Basant Ritu, and the Grishma Ritu. So at present, the season which is going on is the Basant Ritu, and the season which is coming up is the Grishma Ritu. So this season, the seasonal effect on our strength, which strength? The physical strength, the mental strength, and the digestive power. The season affects our 3 strengths: the physical, mental, and the digestive. And in this season, which is the Basant Ritu, and the mid, which is the Sharad Ritu, which comes in September, October. In these 2 seasons, the power is moderate. Effect of season on our physical, mental, and digestive power is moderate. And in this, the next season which is coming, the Grishma Ritu, and after that comes the Varsha Ritu, the summers and the rainy season. Now these 2 seasons, all the 3 powers, the effect of season on our 3 powers, all the 3 powers are minimum. They are minimum. The physical strength is minimum, the mental power is minimum, and the digestive power is minimum. Therefore, our immunity is at a lower level in these 2 seasons. Therefore, Ayurveda talks a lot about seasonal regimen, that according to change of season, we need to make change in diet, we need to make change in activities, we need to make change in our mental work, we need to make changes in our spiritual work. So we need to make changes in all these so that our immunity is intact. So that is called Kalaj Bal, the effect of season, as well as the Kal is the age, the Balyavastha, the Yuvavastha, and the Vriddhavastha. So in this also, as soon as we'll start aging after 60, after 70, after 75, then our gradually immunity will start decreasing, which is a natural process. But we still have to maintain it. And that maintenance has the next point which I'll be discussing is working on all the 3 pillars. And the third comes the Yuktikrit Bal. The third part which takes care of immunity is Yuktikrit Bal. Yukti means you have the knowledge, now apply it. The applied aspect of the Ayurvedic knowledge. So what is the applied aspect? Yuktikrit is our lifestyle. And when in Ayurveda we talk about lifestyle, it does not mean that have some changes in diet and start walk and yoga, your lifestyle changes. No, that is not the meaning of lifestyle. When we talk in Ayurveda about lifestyle, which will give us the Yuktikrit Bal, which is going to actually take care of our immunity, where we are working to develop our immunity. Whatever we had, that is already there with us. What the season is going to affect, we are taking the seasonal care. Now the third chapter is I am responsible for maintaining my immunity and boosting it. Now for the maintenance and the booster, I need to work every day on myself. When we see every day, so like when we work, it is either 5 days a week or 6 days a week. So we can end up into that not working on the same level on all 7 days. but at least at minimum of 5 days. Then the things start working. And that is when we talk about lifestyle, here comes the role of food. And when we talk about food in Ayurveda, then there are a number of points which we need to take care. What to eat, when to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, what to do before food, and what to do after food. All these 6 points are catered in every meal of every day. We need to take care. If we are taking care, then only we are working upon Yuktik Bal, otherwise we are not working upon that. So first point of lifestyle is food, where we need to cater all these things. And what is happening in today's time, we are just focused upon what to eat. Salad is good for me, sprouts are good for me, millets are good for me. So we are just working upon all this, and this whole knowledge is coming from West, and we are just accepting it without putting any logic into it. So this is what it is, not only what to eat, but what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, what to do before food, what to do after food, because what we are eating is not that important. Whatever we are eating needs to be digested properly. If the food is not digested properly, good body tissues are not supposed to be built up. They will not build up according to Ayurveda. Because शरीर और मन आहार संभवा बताया हुआ है. This body and mind is made from food. So food is a very, very pious activity in Ayurveda. And in today's time, we don't have time to eat only. That is the problem. So first in the lifestyle is food, ahar. Second is vihar. Vihar is our daily schedule. What we need to do in our daily schedule, that comes in vihar. The third is achar, our conduct, our behavior, our values, the value education. That is achar. And the fourth is vichar, our thought. We need to have rational and responsible thinking. So all these four are catered in lifestyle, and this lifestyle, there are certain general parameters which can be followed by all, but this lifestyle according to Ayurveda is also individualized, which is prepared on the basis of the constitution of body and constitution of mind of a person. So this is what it is, that how we need to work at the Sahaj Bal, at the Kalaj Bal, and the Yuktikrit Bal. This is how the three types of Bal are there, which we called as Rog Pratirodhak Kshamta, the immunity, by which we can fight against everything which disturbs our ease at all the four levels, at physical level, mental level, social level, and spiritual level. Now when we are talking in this corona time, what is happening is, I also read the whole literature which is coming forward. I also go through all the research papers. I also hear everyone, whosoever is speaking from any field, from allopathic, Ayurveda, homeopathy, all sorts of WhatsApp and all, because I also need to update my knowledge what is happening in the present time. As far as see how much faith we have, as far as the vaccines are coming, in general, in two lines, the summary of it is important to take vaccine, because that so that even if you are infected with this COVID, the coronavirus, you will not end up into serious problems, and especially you will not be taking any ICU bed of the hospital, because you will recover. The recovery is easy, and just even if you get affected, that is not going to give you a lot of problems. If I'm correct, this is what is a summary of the vaccinations which we are taking, that we should get vaccinated, because we have so much faith in that vaccine that I know I am not going to be corona free. I can be infected with that virus. I can be COVID positive. I can have all the symptomatologies. But yes, I am so much concerned and so much faith I have that even if I have that coronavirus, I'm not going to die, because that is going to protect me. So we have so much faith, the protection in that. There comes the role of Ayurveda now. Ayurveda says The definition of health in Ayurveda is Samapramanastu. If you have all the factors, what is called in Ayurveda, Samadosha, Samaganishta, Samadhatu, Malpriya, Prasanna Atma Indriya Mana Swastitya Vidiyate. ये स्वस्थ की परिभाषा है. If you have all those factors with you, then Ayurveda says is, if you are attacked with serious disorders also, that is not going to give you too much of problem. Because your bul will be very strong, your immunity will be very strong, and you can handle that. Your body and mind both can handle that, and you can be attacked with diseases, but your body has that power to handle it. Now here is the difference of faith. And now comes the role of spirituality into it. Yes, Ayurveda believes not in spirituality because we say health is physical, mental, social, spiritual. So this is what it is, that when we say we need to work upon Ayurveda, now is the Traya Upastambha, how we are going to increase our immunity and come to that health level where we are physically, mentally, socially, spiritually strong, so that we can fight with everything. In that, the Traya Upastambha, the three parameters which I told you we need to work. Our first is Ahar, second is Nidra, the sleep, and third is Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is, one meaning of Brahmacharya is celibacy, where we go to the sexual life. But the second important meaning of Brahmacharya is Mera Acharan Brahma Jaisa Ho. Because Aham Brahma Asmi. मैं अगर ब्रह्म का अंश हूँ तो मेरा आचरण ब्रह्म जैसा होना चाहिए, जो कि आजकल हम लोगों का बिल्कुल नहीं है. We don't know what is the acharan of Brahma. So how will we enter into that zone? So that knowledge is required first. Because knowledge is power and knowledge is light. So that knowledge is first required, then only we can work upon it. If we don't have that knowledge, then what will we work upon it? So therefore, we say that Acharan Brahm Jaisa Ho, and in that Acharan Brahm Jaisa Ho comes the Rasayana part of Ayurveda. Rasayana is to build up good body tissues, and the first Rasayana is Achar Rasayana. Achar is completely the value education. And you know what is happening today in the pandemic form? इसमें आयुर्वेद में कहा गया जनपदो ध्वंस, जनपद का ध्वंस हो जाना. That the whole population is going to get destroyed. जनपदो ध्वंस का जो कारण, जो cause of जनपदो ध्वंस, आयुर्वेद में लिखा है, that is अधर्म. Adharma is the cause of janpada dhvans. And adharma, dharma means duty. So we have done lot of destruction in nature. So Mother Nature has to destroy us now. We have to get back. So when we say dharma and adharma is the cause of janpada dhvans, adharma is we are not performing our duties, and everybody should think, go to your inner self and think exactly what we are doing. Because each and every duty should be performed with truth and wisdom, but without attachment and expectations. Are we doing it? And these duties start from self. And when I say self, I said we need to work upon ourselves. We need to feel our inner self. But whenever I talk on these lines to persons, people always say we don't have time. Everything has to start from self. The duties also start from self. This body is given to me. ये आत्मा इस शरीर रूप में धारण की आत्मा है, तो जीव आत्मा परमात्मा का अंश है. It is my duty to take care of this. And I can take care only when I have time for me. And when we say Dashamansh Daan mein de, 1/10 give in charity, I always say charity starts from home and charity starts from self. So what charity we can give to ourselves? 1/10 of what? I always say 1/10 of 24 hours. 24 घंटे रोज हमारे पास हैं. 24 घंटों में से 3 घंटे अपने आप को दीजिए. we are very smart in achieving the target. आजकल सारा बिजनेस टारगेट ओरिएंटेड है और उस टारगेट को अचीव करने के लिए हम सब कुछ करेंगे. पावर भी आ जाती है बिकॉज डंडा है ऊपर. But what about the target of this human life? How will the ability come? How will you get the power when you don't have any target of this human life? So to achieve that target, at least take out 3 hours per day for your own self, so that you can work at your physical level, mental level, social level, spiritual level. Then only your immunity is going to be boosted up. Otherwise not. And we have time, but we don't use the time judiciously. Ahar Nidra Brahmacharya. Nidra is one pillar of health in Ayurveda, and Nidra, proper sleep, is one of the biggest parameter of improving the immunity. And when we talk about sleep, it is only night sleep, only night sleep. दिन सोने के लिए नहीं होता आयुर्वेद के हिसाब से. कुछ एक चीजों में है, only children can sleep, pregnant women can sleep, nursing mothers can sleep, a person suffering from debilitating diseases can sleep, and an elderly person can sleep. Rest all के लिए दिन में सोना is not indicated. If it is high summer, temperature going more than 40 and 45, then we can sleep in the afternoon. Otherwise, day is not for sleeping in Ayurveda. So it is night sleep. An average adult 6 to 8 hours. And the time to sleep. Today you have given me the time as 9 to 10 p.m. for giving a lecture. And the time to sleep is maximum by 10 o'clock. And I tell you, because I have come across n number of patients suffering with incurable diseases, and one of the root cause of autoimmune diseases, psychological disturbances, aggression, frustration, depression, suicidal attempts, malinterpersonal relationships, incurable diseases, autoimmune diseases. One of the major cause which I have personally found out in my experience till date is night awakening. रात को 10 बजे के बाद मैक्सिमम जागते हैं लोग, whether it is children, youth or the elderly person. And I tell you, madam and sir, it is highly injurious. Two things which we are doing on a daily basis nowadays is night awakening, रात को जागरण, रात्रि जागरण करते हैं, and multitasking करते हैं. Multitasking highly injurious for mental health. Night awakening highly injurious for immunity. Because our whole rejuvenation happens at night. 10 बजे से लेके 2 बजे का काल पित्त का काल है, एनर्जी का काल है, अग्नि का काल है, which is required to rejuvenate ourselves. And if we are awake, then that energy is used for whatever work we are doing. So rejuvenation chapter close हो जाता है, degeneration chapter बढ़ जाता है. So कहाँ आएगी immunity? नहीं आएगी. So therefore, we have 24 hours in our hand every day. Out of these 24 hours, we take out on an average 7 hours our sleep, so that we end up into good sleep. Majority people today are actually suffering from deprivation of sleep. Doctors are one of those. And deprivation of sleep is hazardous to health, which all of us know. Still we don't work upon it. So 7 hours minimum, और वो भी 10 बजे के बाद सो जाना है. सुबह जल्दी उठिए, क्योंकि ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में उठना बोला. It is all logical, all scientific. Ayurveda has answers to everything. Why it is important to get up at Brahma Muhurat? Why it is important to sleep maximum by 10 o'clock? Because हमारी body clock बाहर की clock के साथ चलता है. As I told you, the Kal affects a lot. So therefore we do believe in it, because that is in our Shastras. So therefore we need to work. अगर 7 घंटे हमने सोने को दे दिए, 3 hours I told, take out for your own self, 7 and 3, 10 hours. 10 hours you work in a day. You work 10 hours, your official work. Do 10 hours in a day, maximum. Still you have 4 hours in your hand. You have slept 7 hours. You have taken out 3 hours for your own self. You have worked for 10 hours. Still you have 4 hours, which you can use for your personal hygiene and in your friends and your family and your children. We can use the time judiciously. सुबह और शाम काम ही काम अगर करना है तो काहे को फैमिलीज बनाते हैं हम? And what for is a human life? We need to make this human life is mine. I need to make it meaningful. Meaningful does not mean, see, in the public you will be getting number of people. One group may say that this human life is given to remain healthy, so they will talk about all physical health. आप physical exercises किया करो, जिम किया करो, योगा किया करो, you need to be physically healthy because physical health है तो सब कुछ है, नहीं तो कुछ नहीं है. Second group will talk about mental health. You need to be mentally strong. क्योंकि माइंड अगर गड़बड़ हो गया तो सब खराब. So you need to work on mind. So mental health की सारी बात करें. Third group will come who will talk about social health. ये मनुष्य जीवन मिला सेवा के लिए, तो समाज सेवा करो. So they will all talk about social health, and this group will say go out and serve the humanity, enter into charity. The fourth group will come about spiritual health. ये मनुष्य जीवन मिला मोक्ष प्राप्ति के लिए, तो उस पर काम करो. That's all. That is it. But what does Ayurveda say? Ayurveda says you need to work at all the four levels every day: physical, mental, social, spiritual. Because all are equally important, and then only we can say that we have power, we have immunity, so that that power can fight with all sorts of anything which is disturbing my ease at any level. So that is what is where Ayurveda talks about. So it was told to me that I can talk for 35 to 40 minutes, and with last point I will just end up, and then we can switch on to question answers. That I have, because in this short time we cannot discuss everything. There is so much in Ayurveda where we can talk about. Either we have series of lectures or we can just finish up today with this much bit. And also we can go ahead for that. I have my online program, like I take online yoga classes. So yoga is not physical exercise. I don't teach yoga just on the parameter of physical exercise. The physical part is a part of that yoga. So I go ahead with Ashtanga yoga. 8 classes of yoga. Start with yamas, niyamas, then asanas, then pranayam, then pratyahar, then dharana, then dhyan, then samadhi. If we go like this, then gradually what we do is we develop control on our mind, we develop control on our body, we develop control on our breath, we develop control on our sensory organs, we develop control on our motor organs, and then we enter into meditation. So this is a gradual part where we actually find the essence of power, which is power yoga. Here I don't teach that power yoga, which is Surya Namaskar 100 बार कर लो और zero कमर size बना लो. That is not actually yoga. Yoga is union, and union of what? How will you get that immunity? Union within your own self. Self में क्या है? कहाँ union बनाना है आपको? Union कहाँ? Our body starts from a single cell. Number of cells unite to make tissues. Number of tissues unite to make organs. Number of organs unite to make systems. And there are number of systems in this body. And this body also has mind, and this also has soul. So therefore, ये harmony कहाँ develop करनी है? Union कहाँ develop करनी है? This harmony has to be from cell till soul. Once you learn these techniques, work upon them, then we realize what power we have. That is where we activate our own healing power. Our body talks to our own self, and we can talk to our own body. But we don't have time. So this is what it is. I have online yoga classes also, which my next sessions will be starting from 10th of this month. I have online program, the Ayurvedic and Yogic Style of Living, which is a 10 days program. And I also have one program which I have made for Ayush doctors as well as doctors from other systems of medicine, which is the Prakriti analysis, because that was my MD research work, and I've also taken the copyright of this work. How to to do the analysis of composition of body and composition of mind of a person, and after that give a complete holistic health promoting guidelines, which becomes a lifelong guideline, how to remain physically, mentally, socially, spiritually. It is a complete individualized program. So in this also, I've started a program which I'll be launching from 1st of next month. That's a 2 weeks and a 4 weeks program, the learning program. The 2 weeks is for Ayush doctors because they have the knowledge of Ayurveda, and 4 weeks is for other doctors, allopathic or other systems of medicine. So how to do the Prakriti analysis, the body constitution, the mind constitution, and thereby giving a complete program. So this is all for today, and now the session is open, I think, for questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It's a different perspective altogether for us allopathic doctors. And, this definition of that the health consists of the physical, mental, social, and spiritual health. That's something that all of us need to realize, apart from our practice. And when you were talking about seasons, actually, it reminded me of the Kalidas written Ritu Sanghar, where it doesn't talk about the Ayurveda per se, but then it talks about how the mental phases go in different seasons. You are happy, especially the Sharad Ritu and the Vasant Ritu. Now, also, when we talk about the season, these are also the seasons when we see a lot of seasonal infections, or commonly known as the viral fevers.
Yeah.
So, how does Ayurveda help us there? In mitigating those or reducing those infections? There are people who get a lot of seasonal infections. There are people who get very few infections. So how can Ayurveda help there?
See, like present, let us talk about present. Present is Basant Ritu. Basant Ritu chal rahi hai, and it is going towards, now next will be the Grishma Ritu. This is the season of Kapha, because Ayurveda revolves around Vata, Pitta and Kapha. This is the season of Kapha. And in this, how we can prevent, because all Kapha disorders and respiratory disorders are very common in this season. And as you know, the virus which has come up, that also is affecting mainly. So how we can maintain this and improve the immunity? The Ayurveda has few things in that. The first is that we go for nasal drops. Ayurveda says, Nasa hi shirsah dwara, naak hi sir ka dwar hai. So any disease which is happening above the clavicle bone and even going towards the lower respiratory tract, the root is nose. So in nose we put nasal drops of particular oil, and generally which suits on an average the general community is the anu tel. Anu tel, two drops of anu tel in the nostrils every day. First protection. Basant Ritu, and it is actually for all seasons also. First is the nasal cavity, we put oil drops. Second is we do Kaval and Gandush. Kaval and Gandush therapy is once you brush your teeth, then the swish. You can do it only with plain hot water also. Just put water in your mouth and squeeze and just take out everything from your gums. That is swishing. And the Gandush is that simply we say that you take ghee, half teaspoon of ghee with half glass of hot water, mix it, keep in your mouth and blow your cheeks. Hold and throw. So this is excellent for maintaining the resistance and the functions of the oral cavity. And the fourth is SOS. When required, we go for steaming. So this nasal oil drops, steaming, Kaval and Gandush. These are four things which takes care of our upper respiratory tract directly. So in this season, mainly the respiratory disorders are there. So this is a must to be done every day to keep ourselves away from them. Then comes the role of diet. Kapha, it is a season of Kapha. So all Kapha is cold in nature. So what mistake we do is that the temperature, environmental temperature has started increasing. We start feeling hot. So we start eating cold food, cold drinks, cold water. And Kapha is cold in nature. So सर्वदा सर्वभावानां सामान्य वृद्धि कारणं विशेष ह्रासस्तु. So what we need to do is whatever is the quality to remain healthy, we need to use the quality which is opposite to that. So the quality of kapha is cold. So we need to consume everything hot in food, hot drinks, hot food. Then kapha is heavy in nature. So therefore our food has to be light in nature. So heavy, and kapha is also slimy in nature. So all those food items which are slimy, like for example, to understand what is slimy, if we take pizza, if we eat pizza, we break one piece of pizza, the cheese comes out like this and it is sticky. That is slimy. वो पिछल गुण होता है. So all those food items which have that slimy touch, like ladyfinger, like colocasia, so वो चीज like उड़द की दाल, वो नहीं खानी चाहिए. Similarly, curd is not indicated in Basant and Grishma. It should not be consumed. So these are how to protect yourself from this season. So seasonal guidelines में हमारी diet भी आती है और हमारी activities भी आती है. So हमें physical activity बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं करनी होती है इस season में, because our physical strength is moderate, not very high in this season. Similarly, food पूरा पेट ठूस के नहीं खाना चाहिए, because our digestive fire is also moderate. And similarly, our mental strength. आजकल डॉक्टर्स को हमें क्यों इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही है? Because we are seeing so many patients also everywhere, stress. We are not able to handle it. And seasonal effect ये है कि ये तीनों power moderate है, high नहीं है. So therefore, we need to work at the physical level, mental level, and at the food level and the activities level to prevent that.
Thank you so much for letting me know that what all have been doing wrong with my diet. You have also answered question by one of the pediatricians here that do you think nasal application of oil or oil pulling therapy work? Now the house is open for questions. I see some more questions here. Briefly, this is a very generic question though, that how does Ayurvedic system of medicines work?
How does
Ayurvedic medicines work? Like in allopathy, we know this drug has this mechanism of action, this blocks this receptor, or there are different drugs acting differently. So do we have that in terms of the Ayurveda also?
See, how we work is, first is the pathogenesis. If we are treating any disease, then we should know the pathogenesis, what we are treating. So what Ayurveda says is kupitanami doshanam sharire paridhavatam yatra sangha kharva gunyat vyadhis tattuvjayate. So once a disease is produced, then it works at 4 levels. One is at the doshas level. Dosh means against vata, pitta, kapha. What we are seeing in that patient, accordingly we need to pick and choose a medicine for that. Then there is the dushyas, because doshas will combine with dushyas, and dushyas are the body tissues. So we need to see which organ is being affected, and accordingly pick and choose the medicine which is affected in that particular, for that particular organ. That is how we pick and choose the medicine. The third point which we need to take care is the Agni, the fire. So Agni is Tikshna, Agni is Mand, Agni is Visham, means it is irregular, it is very strong, it is very low. The Agni of the Dakshagni, that is the digestive fire, as well as Agnis of all the tissues. So we see the status of Agni, what is the status, and accordingly we pick and choose. And then the fourth part we see is the Srotas, the channel, all the channels of the body. And what is happening in the channels? The channels are being blocked, whereas we say that ati pravritti sango va seranam gramthyopi va vimar gamnam chapi. So channels में जो दुष्टि होती है, जो विकार है, that is the 4 types. Sang means either there is a blockage. Ati pravritti means there is more flow. Sira granthi means is it entering into varicosity of the veins, the veins becoming tortuous? Is it that? Or it is vimargaman, because the particular thing should pass from a particular area, it is not passing from the particular area, it is changing its route. Like for example, nasal epistaxis. Nose is not the area where the blood should come out, but it is coming out. Similarly, vayu का निष्कासन नीचे से होना चाहिए, but the vayu is coming out in the belching form. The food once we eat should go down, but food is coming out in the vomitous form. So it is changing its route. So we pick and choose the medicines accordingly where the pathogenesis and what type of pathogenesis is happening in the body as well as the mind. We take care of both and accordingly pick and choose the medicines. And the medicines it's already prescribed. This medicine is for this is for that. So accordingly we pick and choose the medicine, working at all the 4 levels.
Ram, there is another question that could you cover the Ayush guidelines for immunity boosting, especially in the recent times? It talks about drinking warm water, kadha, and
Correct.
they also want to know if there are 2-3 important ingredients.
Sure. Ministry of Ayush has taken out a kit named as Ayu Raksha Kit. This is a kit which Ministry of Ayush has taken out. After researches, people think that there is no research happening. There are 3 major colleges in Delhi itself, where it is a Sibia College, which is at Karol Bagh. There is All India Institute of Ayurveda, which is near Apollo Hospital in Sarita Vihar. And the third is the Chaudhary Brahm Prakash Charak Ayurveda Sansthan, which is at Nazamgarh. And all the 3 institutes are postgraduate institutes of Ayurveda. And all have hospitals, and all hospitals of all these 3 colleges are converted into COVID hospitals. And all researches are happening over there, mainly in concern with this Ayu Raksha Kit. And therefore, this Ayu Raksha Kit has come up. Because this I'm talking only about Delhi. It is happening at all the levels, all colleges in India. But I'm talking right now only of Delhi. So we have 3 major colleges in Delhi where all this is happening. And in those colleges, the treatment is basically happening only on the basis of Ayurveda. But yes, if there is requirement for the intervention of allopathic and the patient is going into serious mode, then immediately the allopathic also intervention happens. So we are working at the integrated approach, but initially trying to, for the mild and moderate cases, trying to cover up with the Ayush system. So Ayurveda में इन्होंने जो kit निकाली है, in that we have one tablet which is called Sanshamni Vati, and Sanshamni Vati is basically giloy, the guduchi, Stenospora cardiofolia. So that is Sanshamni Vati. The second, because we need, if you will compare the Ayu Raksha kit with the protocol which is happening at the allopathic part, you will see a number of similarities both. Because over here, in your case, you are giving zinconia, you are giving zinc, you are giving vitamin C. So in that case, what Ayurveda is giving is Chyawanprash. And Chyawanprash is again an immunomodulator where the base is Amla. So covering again the both systems, so having all those elements also and specifically Amla. So that is the second part is Chyawanprash. The third part in that Ayu Raksha kit is Anutel, as I told you, the nasal oil drop. This is there. And the fourth is the Ayush Quat, the Ayush Quat. The Ayush Quat has 4 ingredients into it, and those ingredients are antioxidants also, immunomodulators also, and specifically working on the respiratory system also. उसमें cinnamon है, दालचीनी है, उसमें तुलसी है, उसमें शुंठी, dry ginger powder है, और उसमें black pepper है. These are the 4 things of Ayush Quat. So what sometimes the mistake being done is that Ayush Quat, basically some people have started taking like 6, 10, 12 times in a day Ayush Quat. So then what will happen is they will end up into having burning sensation and acidity. So कोई भी चीज अच्छी है उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप उसको बस पी डालो और खा डालो. Excess of everything is bad. So this Ayush Quat, which according to the Ayush kit, what we recommend is twice a day. दिन में 2 बार ये herbal tea का सेवन करें. So these are the 4 ingredients of the Ministry of Ayush, which they have come out as the name of Ayu Raksha Kit. And this Ayu Raksha Kit, I repeat, it has 4 things. One is Sanshamni Vati, the tablets, which are basically the tablets of Giloy, the Guduchi, Stenospora cardiofolia. The second, they have the Chyawanprash, which we recommend take 1 teaspoon every day, or if it suits you, then you can take twice a day or once a day. The third is Anutel, the oiling of the nasal cavity, 2 drops in each nostril. And the fourth is Ayush Quat. This is a herbal tea, and this has 4 ingredients. One is cinnamon, the other is shunti, and the third is tulsi, and the fourth is black pepper. So the Chyawanprash once a day, Sanshamni Vati 2 BD, Anu Tel once or twice a day, and Ayush Kwas twice a day. In Ayush Kwas, we also say this, once your sachets are also there, the sachet according to how much suits you. You can use the sachet in 3 divided doses also, or you can, if it suits you, you can take the, it just depends upon the prakriti of a person. No? If a person is pitta prakriti, it will not, like I am pitta couple, so it doesn't suit me much. So मैं एक sachet को 3 बार में divided doses में लेती हूँ. So this is how we just make changes. This is what Ministry of Ayush has said.
Thank you. So I think there is sufficient scientific background to is what we are doing. It's just that ati sarvatra varjayet. So we should not, do excess of
Yes,
anything.
correct.
So there's an important question which is in back of mind of a lot of us. Are the Ayurvedic medicines regulated? Like for allopathy, we know there are regulatory bodies which will give sanction or approval to a particular medicine. Do we have such a system for Ayurvedic medicines?
Yeah, definitely. It's a completely regulation nowadays. You cannot take out any Ayurvedic medicine and sell it unless you don't end up into standardization and the complete regulatory policies. They are complete regulatory policies nowadays. You have to meet those regulatory policies, then only you can take out a medicine and sell it. Otherwise, you can't.
Now we are close to ending this session. So I would want to.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Dr.
Yes,
Rahul.
Ji, yes, please.
Wonderful talk by Dr. Katoch ma'am, and the wonderful moderator we have perfectly suits this occasion, I guess. And जाने से पहले I'm sure कुछ ना कुछ हमें सुनने को मिलेगा Dr. Nathani से. Ma'am, there are 2 things I wanted to ask. First of all, my limitation of Ayurveda was only to Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and but the way you have elaborated today, it's a big game. Second thing, we as in allopathy do not try to use any oil in any orifices. This has been contraindicated in our distinct field. Second thing, I want to ask you about this Baba Ramdev's coronal. How effective and how useful it is?
Sir, I'll go for the first question. As far as the orifices are concerned, it is completely opposite. As far as what you are saying in allopathy, you don't believe in that, and Ayurveda totally recommends it. और केवल नाक नहीं, आप अगर अपने बुजुर्गों को देखें, I always say one thing which I do practice myself also: keep oil in your bathroom. And whether like the oil changes, if you are from Kerala, then the sesame oil suits you much, and if you are in North India, then the mustard oil will suit you much. Keep oil in your bathroom and have a habit of oiling all your major apertures of the body every day, all 12 months, every day. And the major apertures are, and in that case, just oil with your finger, just take it like this, put in your nose, rub and in your ears, take some and put in your navel area. नाभि सभी नस नाड़ियों का मूल है. This is yoga concept. सभी नस नाड़ियों का मूल है. And then take that oil and put in the anus also. जो हमें ड्राइनेस की कंप्लेंट होती है वो दूर हो जाए. तो आयुर्वेदा ऑयलिंग में, सर, आई वाज सेंट बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया टू यूरोप टू जनरेट अवेयरनेस ऑफ आयुर्वेदा फॉर 45 days. तो मुझे वहां पर पंचकर्मा भी करवाना था. तो मैंने जब मसाज करवाई, 2 technicians were with me. To my surprise, before I taught them, I first took massage on myself. तो मैंने इंडोनेशियन, थाई, अमेरिकन, मतलब 5-6 massages ले ली. The common thing which I found was, in all those massages, किसी ने मेरे सिर की मसाज नहीं की. Nobody did my head massage and neither my navel area. Nobody touched my stomach and nobody touched my head. जब मैंने आयुर्वेदा पंचकर्मा मसाज उनको सिखाई, I started with head. So I took oil and just poured it over here. Ayurveda says, daily do head and foot massage. Daily. Abhyangam, oiling of the whole body also daily. ये तो जब मैं अगर anybody of you would like to go ahead for Ayurvedic and yogic style of living जो मैं programs कराती हूँ, there and massage में भी आजकल जो I'm planning to do a new program which I'll be teaching a self massage program. These are very very important things and simple things and boost your immunity and your energy levels like anything. Simple things. So oiling is very important according to Ayurveda. Head and foot massage is daily recommended. Oiling of the apertures is daily recommended. This is there. And the second, so as far as the oil part is there, this is there. Second part was, sir?
Coronal tablet.
Coronal tablet, ma'am.
Coronal. Yeah, see, coronal tablets, as far as the ingredients are concerned, that also has mainly giloy in it. The Tinospora
Sorry, didn't get you.
califolia. It has giloy in it. It has ashwagandha in it. So as far as we see the ingredients of coronal, so according to that, the research has already come up that yes, in Ayush kit also we get Sanshamni Vati, which is giloy. So what is the harm in using that? I don't think so, because that all the things which are there in coronal, they are actually immunomodulators. So and giloy is
name
also a rasayana. So I don't
Ma'am,
think so there is
but
any harm in it.
but the name of Baba Ramdev really hurts it, na?
That hurt me also, sir. Because sometimes, see, I tell you, as an Ayurvedist, I'm talking as an Ayurvedist, and it is an open talk I'm doing over there. See, as far as I respect Baba Ramdev, as far as the yoga part is concerned, he's a very good yoga practitioner.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Brilliant
doubt.
in that.
No doubt.
But once the Ayurveda part comes in, he's not an Ayurvedist.
Absolutely.
has
This is
not
what is my
studied.
take. Yeah.
That is where it hits me also. But you know, what to say, all सब सियाने हैं यहाँ पर. But as
yes,
far
ma'am,
as
बहुत
coronal
सियाने हैं
is
यहाँ पे, sorry.
concerned, if you see the ingredients of coronal, keeping aside that coronal is by Baba Ramdev, but if I see the ingredients, what he has written, they are giloy and ashwagandha, and they are immunomodulators, so I don't think so there is any harm in using that.
So thank you, ma'am. हमें थोड़ा सा
One
समय
last question, ma'am. Sir, एक minute, Dr. Nathani. One last question, ma'am. I know the 10 o'clock is your time to sleep. Sorry, we are 5 minutes away. Which is the best center for have the best Ayurveda massage?
See, as far as वो कहते हैं ना, कोई भी अपने दही को खट्टा नहीं बोलता. आप तो मेरी क्लिनिक में आओगे तो मैं उसको बेस्ट बोलूंगी. Fine. Then
Sure, ma'am.
we have our complete Ayurveda healthcare approach programming in Sri Aurobindo Ashram. And I am the main person who is taking care of the whole Ayurveda unit over there. And we have beautiful things, but at present it is closed because of Corona. So at present moment, we don't say call a person for massage. We say that yes, learn massage, how to do self-massage. Like I did the Panchkarma for my husband at home. Vaman bhi kiya, Virechan bhi kiya, the actual detoxification procedures. So he did his massage because जब घी पीने के बाद जब आपने वमन विरेचन करना है, he did his massage himself, and I bought a steam chamber at home. घर में बाथरूम में steam chamber रखा, so he did the massage. He went ahead for steam, and then I gave him the medicine for virechan, and his detoxification happened in home only. So this gave me more motivation that yes, I should start a program where I teach how to do self-massage. So otherwise, you know, sir, yes, everybody knows about Kerala. That yes, Kerala is best, but sir, North bhi bura nahi hai. So everywhere, if a person is going ahead with a complete unit, so they are doing good. They are doing good.
Wonderful. Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So ma'am, thank you very much. Hopefully आज हमने आहार, आचार और विचार के विषय में जो सुना है, शायद हम उसे मनसा वाचा कर्मणा पूरा कर पाए. With this, I'll hand over session to Dr. Bhatia and Dr. Dudeja.
सर कुछ बोल दो प्लीज, हिंदी में कुछ बोल दो, मजा आ जाएगा. ऐसे मत करो.
मुझे लगता है समय का सम्मान करें हम.
अब समय का सम्मान हो गया. हम बहुत दिनों बाद आए हैं, कुछ बोल दीजिए, नहीं तो फिर हम चले जाते हैं. और क्या.
नहीं कुछ नहीं, आपने शायद शुरुआत में नहीं सुना हो, आयुर्वेद जो है अथर्ववेद का ही एक उपवेद है, जहां से ये वाला साइंस निकला है। जैसे हम बोलते हैं संगीत सामवेद से आया है, तो ये वाला विज्ञान अथर्ववेद से आया। बाकी हमारे पास आज ज्यादा लर्नेड स्पीकर है, तो शी इज द राइट पर्सन फॉर दैट। एनीवे आई विल हैंड इट बैक टू डॉक्टर भाटिया नाउ।
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Rahul.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Ayurveda has always been an ancient and trusted form of system which has been adopted by us Indians throughout the ages, and we've always been taking natural ingredients to boost our immunity. And whether it is our Chavanprash, we've seen it from childhood, our parents giving us Chavanprash, and so all these things probably have helped in not only improving our innate immunity but also our overall general health. So thank you, Dr. Surendra Katoj, for giving us such a beautiful insight into the science of health, which has been age old, and we always hear from our parents, grandparents, ऐसे करना चाहिए, पर आज आपके मुंह से सुन के समझ आई कि क्यों करना चाहिए. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, Dr. Rahul, for moderating the show so well and taking us forward. And thank you all participants. It was wonderful having you all here. And please keep meeting in this once a week in these meetings, so that at least we have something to share and we see each other, in these Corona times. Next week, we have a wonderful lecture by a doctor from Ahmedabad. He's a pediatric intensivist who has been working a lot with COVID, and he will be taking us through the spectrum of COVID that he has experienced in these last 1 year. And we will be enjoying his experience and learning a lot from him. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Shabba khair. Enjoy your dinner. And thank you so much again, Katoj ma'am, for coming. Thank you.